OK, top of the agenda. Well, it was a landmark night for Port Adelaide, a win that saw them ascend to the top of the AFL ladder. It affirmed everything that we've known about them that's been building. It affirmed everything that's come in the recent past. But more than that, it spoke, well, by the end of it, it spoke of the thought that maybe the Power's time is now.
Right from the very start, we wanted to build a football program, the envy of no other in the AFL. We have a dream here, we have a goal, we're all signed on to it, we're determined to get to it. It's an exciting journey.
The Port Power, right now after round 6, are on top of the world. I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world. The siren's about to sound. Delirious fans all the way around this magnificent Adelaide Oval to end the magnificent night for Port Adelaide. And that will be it. Port Adelaide in fine style tonight by 40 points.
They are the real deal, and I think today shows us if you win early games, it allows you to actually manage your list in the second half of the year, and that's a key to Port Adelaide at the moment. But they could set up top 4 in the next 4 weeks.
Comes a moment with every young side when they announce themselves. I think tonight might have been it with you.
Oh, we're just trying to earn that respect back. I mean, it's been a long process for us. I mean, it's been pretty tough, and we're just continuing to improve on that. And as a group, we're a pretty strong, resilient group, and it's good we're going forward.
And we're playing a great side tonight. That's the best team in the competition for 10 years. We know that. And, our boys were obviously a little bit worried about them, but, to their credit, we just keep going. We just keep running. We play hard, tough and exciting football, we hope, for our fans. And, in the end, we got what we deserved tonight, and it was a good win.
It was probably about time where we stood up and took on the best team in the comps. Yeah, certainly things are going really well at the moment. It's great to beat the best team in the comp, so we'll get some respect out of that. Well, you don't really want to get ahead of yourself, but we know when we play the way we want to play and win contested footy and run the oppo, we're going to be pretty hard to beat.
This Port Adelaide side, what a damaging combination, what an exciting team they are.
It felt like, Robbo, and you wrote about this in the tackle today, that was the end of the Cinderella run. Now it's about what can be achieved, because the rise has been wonderful, but there's not only a legitimacy, but they're formidable.
Yes, they are.
They're a contender.
Yes, they are. They're not... They seem to grow from boys to men really quickly. There's so much to like about Port Adelaide. If you don't barrack for Port Adelaide, the greatest compliment you can say is you wish your team played like Port Adelaide. They play like good sides play. They run hard, they pressure hard. They got some magic on the forward line. I mean, Dad said, I look at Chad Wingard and Robbie Gray, and I'm not saying that they're as good as these two, but I remember when Geelong were coming and they had a couple of half-forward flankers, and one was named Steve Johnson, the other one was named Paul Chapman, and people would say they're not bad players. And look what they grew into. Port Adelaide have got a really deep midfield. They've got these two little players on the half-forward flank who can do special things.
Yep.
And they're very uncommon in today's football. They got, Trengo at the back and Carlisle and kids growing up like Jonas and Pittard, but it's the way they play, Gerard. It's contagious.
Yep.
You look at them and go, wow. You say wow a lot. Now, they're going to be challenged. That was probably their best moment yet. I know when they knocked over Geelong in the final, that was huge. Yesterday, Adelaide Oval, and I'll talk to you about that in a second, you big showboater. But this was their moment, and they grabbed it. So many times in football, clubs don't grab it.
No.
And they took it.
You can't choose your time in footy, I think. You can do all the planning, and their planning's a couple of years away. Their demographics have them on a certain rise, but not to this point just yet. But sometimes your time is just thrust upon you on where the competition is, around how the chemistry just sort of clicks into gear, the shared purpose and mission that is obvious within this player group and from the coach down. So I think in a season which hasn't quite settled yet, they're so far in it. And the best part is that it's happened early. I think back of Hawthorn in 2008, who were on a trajectory which was still a couple of years away. But very early in the season, it was quite clear that they were in it up to their necks. And they had the whole year to adjust to that and build on it and be challenged by it. would they get ahead of themselves? I think this is exactly where Port Adelaide is now. It's the perfect timing for Ken Hinkley to now challenge his players. Do you want to defend top position? He said they do. Well, let's go out and do it.
It can be exciting to watch, Gerard.
Giants, Fremantle at the Adelaide Oval, week off, Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval. If you're going to lay it out, that is a good way to lay it out.
See, you've been Port Adelaide. You're looking too far ahead, Gerard. Let's lay it out. You know what good teams do? They take it the next game, the next game, the next game. Ken Hinkley's no fool.
Nope.
He won't be looking at 6-week blocks or 4-week blocks. They'll do their planning for their bodies, etc., with 6-day breaks. He'll be taking it just the next game, the next game. Now, as I said, they're going to be challenged and they will falter. I can't see them winning every game.
Nope.
But the beauty of this team, it's like they were challenged in the third quarter. They got ahead and everyone, God, have a look at this. And then Geelong, being the champs, they got a couple back. And I said, oh, this will be interesting.
Yep.
What happens now? And what Port did? They steadied again. I said, righto. Westhoff goes back, just chills out a little bit, chills out the team. And then they go and take the young fella kicked the goal and another fella kicked the goal and away you go. I want to ask you something.
Yep.
I said you was, what did I say you were doing?
Showboating.
Showboating. I'll take that back. You were hobnobbing. You were hobnobbing with Kochi, right? Seriously, what was it like being on the inside there?
Look, I defy anyone not to be swept up in the thrill and the excitement and the story at play here. But this was a football club with every branch working for it, starting with the venue. It doesn't matter how good I tell you the venue is, it's better. The Adelaide Oval is the most perfect piece of modern architecture because it's a thoroughly contemporary stadium with all the character that it's had in the past. And then there are the fans, 47,000 fans. It was 2 years ago that their seats were covered by black sheets to avoid the embarrassment of empty seats. And did they make a din? And the way that it's built, it rolls the sound back on top of the ground. And it's... The players felt it. I know that for a fact. That the
Geelong players.
Yeah, they felt. And then there's the administration, and he's dynamic, David Koch. You walk around with him, and people love him.
You love him?
So he's a touchstone.
Is it like or love? Is it a strong like, or is it love?
I strongly like Koshi.
Oh, that'll do. Right? That'll do. Did he ask after me at all?
Yeah. All I got as I walked around was, "Where's Robbo?" Come on, it's the weekend, people. I'm entitled to a break.
Keep going.
So the administration, he's a dynamic, he's a magnetic figure. So he's given the people a figurehead. And then you've got Keith Thomas, who's a wonderful strategic planner. And his worth is showing itself more and more. And then you've got Ken Hinkley, who has those players under his touch. So I was privileged enough to be in the rooms just before they ran out. And they go through the drills to feel the physical contact. And Jay Schultz and Matthew Lobe are hammering into each other. And it's sort of to the moment to take your breath away. And then Ken called them in. And they came in the tightest group, and they all leaned forward, and Ken leant right into the middle of it, and it was quiet. Those last words were so quiet and so firm. And then they broke and they went out there with such a sense of purpose. And then I think about Travis Boak and the way that he led them out on the field. And we know the responsibility that leadership group has been given by Ken and how they've carried it throughout. And then in the aftermath, when the mission had been accomplished, and the people, the joy from the people. And in the rooms afterwards, Oliver Wine's mum is standing there with Travis Boak's mum, swapping stories of pride, and Hamish Hartlett's mum comes over. And then there's Gavin Wanganeen and his 11-year-old son who's running around in the manor. You go, 7 years' time, you'll be part of this. It's a football club that is so united in what that they're trying to achieve, and think about where they were the carcass on the landscape. People wanted them out. To where they are now, and if they'd be everybody's second team unless you have a deep ingrained and irrational hatred of Port Adelaide.
That was a spectacular summary of what happened over the weekend, and congratulations for experiencing that. But I'm sure it's love. I'm sure it is love.
Travis Boak will be on the couch
kiss you next. Time he's on here, he won't kiss
me, do you think?
I don't know what's going to happen over there.
So Travis Boak is on the couch next to continue that thread of Port Adelaide, who really are the good story of the weekend.